When you look at the history of NASCAR, there are certain races that stand out. Races that for one reason or another repeatedly come up, because without those races, NASCAR would not be what it is today. Races such as the 1979 Daytona 500, which features the famous fight between Donnie Allison and Cale Yarborough. Or maybe the 1992 Hooters 500, the race which saw Alan Kulwicki take home the championship, while one legend ended his career and another one began his legendary career. But one race that gets overlooked is the 2001 Daytona 500. To most fans, this race is known as the race in which we lost Dale Earnhardt Sr., and that alone would make it arguably one of the most impactful races. But there were other things that made this race, in my opinion, the biggest race in the history of NASCAR. To begin, the 2001 season marked the beginning of a huge television rights deal with Fox and NBC, which meant NASCAR would have more eyes on it than ever before. While this was a huge boost, it also meant that NASCAR would need to deliver. 2001 would be a season of memorable moments, and it all began with the 500. This race would set the stage for a season of underdog successes, tributes, and legends cemented. Speaking of stories, Michael Waltrip's 2001 Daytona 500 is one of the most underrated stories in all of sports. Fortunately, though, through book and film, it has been given a spotlight. Going into the season, Michael was seen as a backmarker driver, so much so that it shocked the racing community when Dale put him into the 15. But with Dale's support and encouragement, Michael would showcase his talent and take home the biggest win in all of stock car racing. Now, why this is big is that this win would not only propel DEI to restrictor plate dominance over the next few years, but when Toyota moved into the Cup Series, MWR would end up being their flagship team. Without this win, does Michael's career make it to 2007? If not, how does that now affect Toyota's entry into the Cup Series? Speaking of Toyota, 2001 marked the return of another manufacturer to the sport, Dodge. With an impressive roster, including a newly formed Everham Motorsports, many wondered how the Dodges would fare in their return. The 500 would see the Dodge sweep the front row, which gave race fans and teams optimism that Dodge would allow us to see some new competitors up front. The 2001 Daytona 500 will always be defined by what happened on the last lap in that last turn. But I think it's cool to look back and see that even without the loss of Dale Earnhardt, this race had so many reasons why it impacted the sport, and it changed the sport in ways that we're still seeing today. So, thank you for joining for this video. Hope you enjoyed.